the morning, you look good to me. Kiss in the sky, I can feel it move me. But on my own, I will share this morning. Kiss the sunrise with my eyes. So it's a I said it's a beautiful morning sunrise. If I ever say morning sunrise, flowers will bloom in the spring. Peace to the family, peace to my comrades, and it is always smoke to the Corntail Pro Boxing fan. Come on in and take a seat. Let the family know that we are live. Like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Let's see who we got on here. Salute to my brother Ray, sharing all my videos, supporting the channel. Let me go ahead and make sure that the family can hear me loud and clear. And they can. My brother Abel's in the building, representing that Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Salute. My brother says, good morning, Coach Hudson. I see Shakur Stevenson is on his foolishness again. You already know, man. But we're going to talk about it this morning before I work out and grab some breakfast. We're going to talk about it. And I believe that his wake-up call is coming. His wake-up call is coming. So let me see if I can find it when he says it. Shakur Stevenson. Said he was buns, trash, right? So let's pause the queen for a second. Let's pause the queen for a second. See if you all can hear that.
Hold on, you really trying to make an argument that Bud's better than Sugar Ray Robinson?
Yes, I am.
That's insane.
I am.
So it started off with Shakur saying that, Ray Robinson was not as good as Bud Crawford. That's how it started. But then Shakur just goes left.
Because we could both watch.
The record, Sugar Ray Robinson was 150.
Oh my
What is he,
God.
157 and 2 and 8 and 9 and 10 and some shit? Come on.
But we could pull up tape right now of Sugar Ray Robinson, and then we watch Bud Crawford.
Let's do it.
You could tell me who's better.
And just for
Now, that's not the part I wanted.
I got a bad situation going. I think.
hold on, you really trying to make an argument that Bud's better than Sugar Ray Robinson?
Yes,
So first you said Bud's better than Sugar Ray Robinson, and if you feel that that's fine. This is the part
In the 5. Let's name the. We gotta put the 5 up.
Who the 5?
Robinson is the Grills.
Who?
Sugar Ray Robinson. That's Grills.
I ain't even see that.
I YouTubed him, nigga. I YouTubed him. He on YouTube. Take you.
Now, this is the same man who said that he didn't know that Marvin Hagler was like that. So he wants us to believe that he can give us a decent, non-biased critique of one of the greatest boxers of all time, Sugar Ray Robinson. This is y'all man, Shakur Stevenson. This is the same man who said Tyson Fury would have beaten Muhammad Ali. This is the same man that said he didn't know that Marvin Hagler was like that. Salute to the Dirt Game boss in the building. So he keeps going and says this.
It was Buns.
Nah, it's like that's
Buns. It was Buns.
Sugar Ray Robinson is Buns. No, you're wild. We're not
No,
standing
it
for that.
was Buns.
Listen, it's like this. It's like this. It's like
Robinson has
Sugar Ray Robinson was buns. Sugar Ray Robinson was trash. Right? You know, this is what they're saying. And I don't think we understand what we're dealing with. I don't think these young boxers understand, but one of my brothers down here in the South, one of my brothers in the field, he made a video response to it, and I want to play it real quick, what my brother said.
5 up.
You know why the young fighters, black fighters today, are so blessed? That they didn't have to live through racial segregation and racial oppression in the Jack Johnson era, the Sugar Ray Robinson era, even Muhammad Ali, and what all these dudes had to go through. You have to understand, segregation ended in 1965. That's fairly relatively new. There was no social media for fighters. There was hardly ever film on fighters and their fights. And if they had film on fights, they wasn't going to show no black man beating up on no white man, Shakur Stevenson. That's what you guys don't understand. And then if they did, it was very, very few. You know who controlled the game back in the day? So you have to understand this, man. First of all, there was no Ali Acts to protect black fighters. These dudes fought for a living for real. These dudes had over 200 fights. Sugar Ray Robinson had over 200 fights. I believe 201. I believe he had 170 plus victories, 100 knockouts. He lost like 19. But you got to think about it. This dude had to carry a lot of fighters so he could live. The game was controlled by the mafia. And I know he died in 1989 in Los Angeles. He was good friends with my grandfather. And my grandfather used to tell me all these crazy stories about this man. And I'm trying to tell y'all, man, just say that Sugar Ray Robinson was buns. He actually killed a man in the ring. You guys ain't fighting 15-round fights. You guys fighting 12. Most of all these fighters today on snack and performance enhancers. These dudes wasn't. They just ate different. They trained different. They lived different. 15-round fights. You guys couldn't even remotely imagine that. These dudes boxed. Sugar Ray Robinson boxed on his toes. None of the young welterweights and none of that would have did nothing with Sugar Ray Leonard back in the day. Him alone. And these dudes lived through all that throughout the history. You hear me? Where black men were marginalized in society. It was no glitz and glamour for them like how you guys got it now. Y'all just got to do your history, man. But to say Sugar Ray Robinson was buns was way out, man.
Salute to my coach. This generation is going to pay a heavy price for their ignorance. And when it happens to them, they're going to try to run back to the community that they're constantly throwing shots at. You can call, and we keep making this mistake. It's like we can't have two great brothers in the same room. What you mean, coach? When you have an Errol Spence and a Bud Crawford, we can't just enjoy the fact that we're going to have a competitive fight happen. We can't just enjoy the fact that two of our greats are going to go at it. It has to turn to, well, your fighter's resume really wasn't good. You know, your fighter's really trash. But then when it's time for other tribes to do their big one. I mean, the smile on you all's faces, the joy that you have, and the excuse that you say, well, this is for the sport of boxing. And we just love it so much. We just love it so much that we're going to put those things to the side. At the same time, when we start talking about the great fighters of old, we can't even have a conversation. Example, we're having a conversation on Instagram about the Philly shell. And I see all of these people from outside of our culture telling the wrong history of the Philly shell, the cross arm guard, and all of that. So, I started speaking about a lineage of people that created it and mastered it. And I started speaking about George Benton and Eddie Futch. And this individual did not know that towards the end of George Benton's career, he was mentored under Eddie Futch as a coach. Later on, George Benton would be a coach to people like Meldrick Taylor and people like Sweet Pea Pernell Whitaker. Who helped Floyd Mayweather get ready for the Olympics? Who helped Floyd Mayweather perfect his defense along when his father was gone? When his father was in prison, Sweet Pea Whitaker was bringing Floyd in to spar. And who do we compare Floyd Mayweather to? They compare Floyd Mayweather's defense to two people. They say James Toney and Sweet Pea Whitaker. Now, I just connected the dots of about 50, 60 years for you. But if you don't know boxing like that, why is it when somebody gives you the facts, your ego is so big that you can't just say, you know what? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Example, I was doing a live yesterday. I made a mistake speaking about Max Schmeling and Joe Louis, right? I said he got stopped in the second fight in round 2. Someone in the chat said it was round 1. I said, thank you for the correction. We kept on moving. If we could move like men like that, things would be a lot easier. But Shakur, I got to say this, family. I don't think he understands what's in store for him. Shakur, these people don't like you, young brother. And the whole country, whether you are realizing or not, we're going back in time. Here's the scary part that you all don't want to hear. There were two types of groups that forced our liberation, or so-called civil rights bill. There were those with the black church, and there were those with the revolutionaries. We forced them to make a choice. It is not true that because of the pure heart of the leaders of this government felt deep in their heart, and they were so conflicted that they wanted to give us rights. All of these Hollywood movies that you see of these benevolent men in these situations, they put those people in the movie so that other people won't feel guilty. You all understand what I'm saying to you? When you all watched, my brother Dirk Gameball says Shakur grandfather is an elder, but he treats them like he's their friend. So it's hard to give game or receive it if the message is mixed, like Coach always say, double-minded. I got to say this too. If you listen to Keyshawn and Shakur, when it comes to speaking of the legends and the elders, they are some disrespectful little ninjas. It's, yeah, that nigga this and that. That nigga, hold on. You're talking about Ray Robinson like that? You're talking about people that paved the way for you to be where you're at? You're talking about people who stood up. You all don't know what pressure is. This little rink-a-dink crap y'all got going on, you all don't know what it's like to go to war with the mob. You don't know what it's like for Muhammad Ali to get protection from Elijah Muhammad so he doesn't have to throw a fight. You don't know what it's like to have killer after killer put in front of you like the old mongoose Archie Moore had to deal with because he decided not to bend the knee and bow down to the mob. You don't know what that's like. You don't know what it's like for race riots to happen after every fight when a brother beats a YT man. But you have the nerve to sit up here, Shakur, again, and just disrespect your own lineage. This the same man that sat up here and said Fury will beat Ali. These are from the same type of young people who are sitting up saying, you know, hey man, Mexicans run boxing. So basically, we ain't nothing. Keyshawn, we ain't nothing. I don't understand how you all could be right there with Jay Prince and not pick up any game. I was a magnet for game, being around my uncles, being around my elders. What they told us, man, I shut up and I listened. I said, okay, that's why you don't do that. Okay, that's why he lost his life. Got you. Okay, that's why you don't jump in between that. Okay, got you. Download it. You can't tell these dudes nothing. You can't tell these dudes nothing. And you can see a clear difference between those with a strong foundation of fatherhood around them and those who don't have it. You can see the interactions between Abdullah Mason and Keyshawn, and you can just see it's night and day. I think Shakur thinks that because he beat Tio, he's at the top now. Well, Shakur, ask yourself this question. Why do you think that every time you accomplish something, it seems that the mainstream boxing media still don't want to rock with you? It seems they still aren't asking you to be a commentator anywhere. They're still not asking you to do the big interviews. If it was not for the YouTube content creators, think about this, family. If it was not for the YouTube content creators, what fighters would the world really know? If it was just mainstream in their platforms, would Shakur be a household name? Brother, they haven't been rocking with you since the Olympics. They didn't rock with you then. You came up short, did the gold, and you cried and had a tantrum because you didn't. And they haven't rocked with you since then. So now, Devin Haney, it looks like he's about to sign one of the biggest deals, bigger than all of his contemporaries. But you're sitting up here talking about men that fought 15 rounds. You're talking about men who did training that would be equivalent to torture in the present day. How dare you talk about your elders like that? How dare you disrespect the men that paved the way for you? I don't understand this weird generation. And it's not all of them. It's not all of them. But what's more dangerous is that it is the leaders, and the men who are supposed to be the leaders in the sport doing this. Shakur, your wake-up call is coming. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to be there. So the question now is, family, if Shakur beats Mortala, what's next? What's next? My brother Abel says, I've researched that boxers had to train for 20 rounders back then. The conditions were inhumane. Yeah, man. They scraped the very edge of death to prepare for these fights. I went over these books, right? Right, these two books. Joe Louis, How to Box. The Martial Art of Boxing. And these books go into the grueling hours that our fighters had to do to become masters. Now, Shakur said something interesting. Shakur Stevenson said, well, boxing has evolved. Well, tell me this, and I want you all to really think about what I'm about to say. This will stump that generation. Every time people disrespect the sport of boxing, what I'm about to say stumps this generation every time. Now, if boxing has evolved like you all say, name 3 things that has evolved during your time period that you use now that the old timers didn't use then. In reverse, we can name several things the old timers did that you all are still doing. Shakur, your defense and the way you move was not evolved by your generation. It was evolved by the old generation. That half guard that you pull, that was the old generation. The Philly shell that you all use was the old generation. The cross arm guard that you use was the old generation. The L step, the step over, the pivot, the pull counter, all of that was made during the old generation. So if it has evolved so much, name 3 things that you all have done and created in the last 30 years that the old timers didn't do. Damn, that boy good. Damn, that man good. So when you talk about these men, when you talk about men like Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson, this book was 50s. This book was made in the 50s. Do you all think that there is a trainer that will put you through more grueling training than the likes of Jack Blackburn? So I want to know, we're going to start disrespecting the old heavyweights. Let's keep it plain, family. The only reason why the heavyweight division today is the way it is because most of our giants go to football and basketball now. Boxing has been taken out of the high schools. It has been taken out of the community centers. But you better be damn sure. Understand. If more of our men went to boxing, you would see a lot more black American heavyweights. Joe Louis in this book speaks about the defense. Now, Shakur, you said that this generation has evolved so much. This is Joe Louis. This is his words in the 50s. This is what Joe Louis said. Joe Louis said that the most important thing to learn in boxing is how to defend yourself and when to attack your opponent. There are various methods of defense, including ducking, blocking, parrying, slipping, clinching, weaving, sidestepping, and feinting. Ducking is used when your opponent leads with a right or left to the chin. You should bend forward from the waist, ducking his blow. As soon as you have ducked his blow, straighten up at the same time, counter with a blow to your opponent. Blocking is used to protect the body and the chin from your opponent's blow. As your opponent leads, turn your body, holding your elbow close to it so that the blow is taken by the elbow. If your opponent should lead with a blow to the chin, use your shoulder to block it. Let me read that again. Joe Louis said that blocking is used to protect the body and the chin from your opponent's blow. As your opponent leads, turn your body, holding your elbow close to it, so that the blow is taken by the elbow. If your opponent should lead with a blow to the chin, use your shoulder to block it by dropping your arm and turning your body enough so that your shoulder will receive the blow. What Joe Louis just described is what you all call the Philly shell today. But I have to sit up here and argue with people who care more about being right than actually knowing the right information. This is what we're dealing with, family. People who want to be willfully ignorant just to be right. That's why I understand when Kendrick said, "God, please keep these lame ninjas away from me." I understand that line more than ever now. You're weird. And Shakur, you are a weird brother, man. Keyshawn, I think that if Keyshawn gets some brothers around him like Zab Judah, some more older warriors around him to talk sense in him, and they get him away from the clowns, Keyshawn could be a problem for Shakur. So I realized that y'all aren't going to listen. Your generation, it's not your generation. Let me stop saying that. It's not your generation. It's a few of you who are supposed to be leaders in this sport, and you're going to have to get taught a lesson. You're going to have to be taught a lesson. Do you realize that when you disrespect your elders and people who have paved the way for you, you are literally knocking the feet off from under you? You are degrading your own foundation. So imagine standing on top of a building and there are enemies reaching up at the top, constantly trying to knock you down off of a pedestal that was earned, I might say. And then you start cutting each floor down. You're putting yourself with everything that wants to destroy you. And once you get down there, you're going to be screaming racism. You're going to be screaming discrimination. But at this point, I think you deserve what's coming to you. You deserve what's coming to you. Because this is the new norm. To disrespect Sugar Ray Robinson. To disrespect Ray Leonard. And it started with Shakur. You see, You brothers are trying your hardest to be like Floyd. You all are trying your hardest to be like Floyd. And I'm not going to defend Floyd Mayweather for some of the things that he said. But Floyd got into it with Sugar Ray Leonard, which that don't even sound right, do it? Floyd got into it with Sugar Ray Leonard. It was a back and forth through media. And Sugar Ray Leonard said, well, you need to look at what I did to your father who tried to use the shell. Sugar Ray had a point. He had a point. And Floyd had a point in what he was saying as well. But Sugar Ray Leonard fought some dogs. And Sugar Ray Leonard was a dog himself. I wonder, Shakur, and the rest of you that do this, how come you all don't critique Roberto Duran like that? How come you all don't talk about all the taxi cab drivers that Chavez fought? You don't talk about them. You praise them. Salute Snoopy Mac in the building. You all praise them while talking about your own like they're dogs. And I feel like it's time you all pay for it. Even though Floyd Mayweather wasn't right, salute to my brother Freedom's March in the building. Yeah, Ray Leonard knocked out Floyd Mayweather Sr. That is a fact. Now, to Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s point, you see, Floyd Mayweather Sr. was big on defense. Roger Mayweather, right? Roger Mayweather was big on offense. And Roger Mayweather is who trained Floyd when Pops went to prison. So there are some elements to it that you can make a decent argument. You can have a decent debate on who would have won in their prime, Ray Leonard or Floyd, right? You could say when Floyd first came out of the Olympics in his first pro fight, does that version of Floyd beat Sugar Ray Leonard's first pro fight out of the Olympics? I don't think so. I think that version of Sugar Ray Leonard would have beat Floyd. Now, with that being said, does the version of Sugar Ray Leonard that fought Marvin Hagler the first time beat the version of Floyd Mayweather that fought Canelo, or that fought Zab Judah, or that fought Corley? These are good, decent arguments. These are good, decent back and forth. There is no right answer. But when you start talking about Sugar Ray Robinson and you ain't did nothing, what you got going on, Shakur? You really starting to move like an agent. I just got to keep it real now. You really starting to move like an agent at this point. I have to wonder what is being said to you, young brother. What is being said to you about the foundation you stand on from the elders around you? And let me say this. You are dragged. We as a community dragged Clarissa for talking about Layla Ali the way she talked about it, right? Somebody who laid the foundation for her to be where she is, right? That's what was being said, right? Salute Black Jericho in the building. Cool. How come we ain't got the same energy for these disrespectful young brothers like Shakur? I don't understand. They can disrespect Ali. They can disrespect Sugar Ray Robinson. They can disrespect these greats. Now I'm going to tell you what's about to happen, family. It's some scary things that are going to happen for those who aren't moving right. You see, there is a YT supremacist mindset going on in this country that they want to take us back. We were more unified before integration. All of you brothers who want to be individuals and you want to praise everybody else and you want to kiss the feet and lick the boot of others so that you can get acceptance from race fans, man, you got a rude awakening coming. You have a rude awakening coming. The black church doesn't have the power it used to have. You understand? You see, you Negroes, who want to debate about Prophet Muhammad, you want to debate about Yeshua and the name of Jesus, and you want to debate about these religions and these concepts and Republican and Democrat, and you want to let me tell your black asses something real quick. If you want to study some history, let me break something down to you. When we had no institutions, there was one institution that we had where we could go and get a job. We could go and figure out a plan. Even if you was a revolutionary, it was one institution. Let me tell you what that institution was. It was the black church. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care. And I'm not talking about the crap that we were dealing with in the 90s and 80s. I'm talking about the preachers who would go to Marcus Garvey and say, brother, what you need from us. I'm talking about the brothers who went to El Hajj Malik Shabazz and say, brother, they plan on taking your life. We will send you money to stay where you're at. We already got our sister, Maya Angelou, out there in Ghana. See, y'all think you know some shit, and you just to be a contrarian. Now, here's the thing. The black church funded the deacons of defense who went to war with the Klan. They don't teach you this in public school. Why would they teach you this when it is funded by the very people who are against you? All of your great leaders, whether you like it or not, the old black church that actually has some power, the old black church where if they found out that somebody in the church was trying to mess with the children, they got dealt with. The black church who had real stand-up men. And it was the black church who sat down with the street element. So there was some rules of engagement. There were rules of engagement on the streets. Like, listen, hey, I understand you brothers want to do this, but hey, if this go like this, we're going to shut you down. That's gone, family. That's gone. Thank you, Snoopy Mac. That was our revolutionary headquarters. For 150 years, there was wars and revolts going on down south. If there was a freedman black church, you could find refuge there. Them days is over with. So while you all were bickering and all of you pastors who signed your church away for the faith-based initiative under President Bush during 2000, you sold out. You sold out. Our strongest institution is gone. So guess what, brothers and sisters? These mischief-making white tea supremacists who want to do away with all of your progress, they know that you ain't got nowhere to go. You might say, well, coach, how does that relate to boxing? It's very simple. It's very simple. Do you think that Turkey Al-Sheikh and Dana White give a damn about Black Revolution? You are money to them. I don't care how much money they give Devin. I don't care how much money they give brothers fighting for them. You are a prize fighter. But what you also need to understand is once you fall and once you fail, man, they getting you up out of here. Yeah. They getting you up out of here. So you think about that, Shakur, when you talk bad about Sugar Ray Robinson. The black church is as far as being anything that can help us, that's done with. Under the COINTELPRO program, the Ghetto Information Program, 7,000 black people were being paid to destroy all of our movements. So, you know, the Black Panther Party ain't as strong as what it used to be, right? The free breakfast program, they destroyed that, put it in public schools, and now we ain't got to worry about these niggas being an issue no more. So listen, you young brothers could learn a lot. That's why I can't say it's the whole generation. You could learn a lot from the young brother Shakur Sanders. When they asked Shakur, well, was last year a humbling experience for you? And Shakur said, well, what you mean by that? What you mean by humbled? Me being humbled? He said, what you all think of me doesn't dictate to me who I am. This is why we have to remove, this is why the enemy says we have to remove the Father away from the Son. Because when the Father puts that in him, we know we have a problem. Do you all think the enemy wants more Shakur Sanders around, influencing young people? Or do they want more Shakurs around? Who can't talk about an older black man without calling him nigger? You can never compare yourself to the men of old. When you all watch that movie A Night in Miami, and you have Muhammad Ali, Sam Cooke, Jim Brown, and Malcolm X in the same room talking about strategy all night after Muhammad Ali just shook up the world again. You should be lucky that these old men who are still living, who could talk to you, they're not on you all's neck how they should be. Y'all are trash. I gotta say it straight up. Y'all are trash. You want to be running around here like little rappers. You want to be at all the Hollywood parties. You don't want to do anything that actually helps the fighters that's coming up behind you. You all don't want to do anything that helps the generations that's coming up behind you. You are selfish. You all have created nothing while talking about the ones who have created all that you have. From the way you fight, from the Muhammad Ali Act. Salute St. Louis Mix in the building. How dare you sit up there on a platform that big and say that? And you all keep getting in front of these cameras like you're Sugar Ray Leonard. Excuse me, like you're Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, before Floyd started talking like that about the legends, Floyd actually had did something. Floyd had actually already went to war with fighter after fighter. The only thing they can say bad about Floyd is things that just did not happen. Because they can't say he lost. They can't talk about Castillo because he came back and beat Castillo, washed him. They can't talk about Maidana without talking about the second Maidana fight, washed him. So Shakur, you ain't, what's going on? Who are you to sit up here and talk about Muhammad Ali's name? Shouldn't even come out your mouth unless his greatness coming behind it. I'm so sick of these dudes, family. I'm ready for them to be out the way. And it's not the whole generation of them, but it's a few of them that, man, we got to get, they are a poison. We have to get behind the fighters trying to make things happen. Because let me tell you what's about to happen. If Hitchens, Shakur, Raymond Ford, the other young brother that wears his hair like Goku, what's that young brother's name? He cool with Raymond Ford. It's a whole little group of them, man. Man, if we let them dudes be the new leaders of the sport, man, it's about to get bad, fam. It's about to get bad. You think that pound for pound list looks slim for us right now? Ring Magazine pound for pound list has 2 black Americans on it. It's Devin Haney and Shakur. It's Devin Haney and Shakur. Real spill Midwest boxing talk in the building. I don't understand. I don't understand. How do we do our elders like that, family? Why do we do our elders like that? And it's weird because Shakur smiles when he does it. Y'all ever notice that? Shakur Stevenson, when he starts talking about our elders like this, it infuriates me because it's like they don't know what they had to go through. Now, Shakur's about to go against Mortala. I'm going to tell you something, family. I'm going to tell y'all this. I've been watching Robert Garcia for years. And you know what I've been realizing? You see, Robert Garcia ain't no fool. Robert Garcia has taken L after L after L with his best fighters to slick black American fighters. And you know what's been happening? I was watching Robert Garcia doing pad work with Bam Bam Rodriguez. And I'm watching him. He got Bam Bam pivoting. He got Bam Bam catching and shooting. I'm watching him. And I'm like, yeah, Robert getting better. Robert's getting better. Robert, he's studying and he's getting better. He's perfecting the craft. You see what you all don't realize that's happening. While you are sitting around playing and pussyfooting around, Maidana almost got away with beating Floyd that first time. The plan that Robert Garcia had almost worked. And I'm going to tell you something. If Maidana would have been able to get away with wearing the gloves that he would have wore, he would have beat Floyd. And maybe would have knocked him out. Because the hits that they were allowing behind the ear, it would have got Floyd. Now, Shakur, I know you a bad dude. You a bad dude. But I say that to say they're downloading information and they are starting to implement things that the slick black American fighters have done, and they're starting to have their fighters do it. Bam Bam is not no flat-footed come-forward fighter, and neither is David Benavidez. David Benavidez has been working on his footwork for years. Y'all keep on playing. Your very legacy. Things that was paid for in blood under you all's watch is going to be gone. Shakur, Keyshawn, Hitchens, I don't know what's going on from that little zone right there. Well, y'all feel like y'all have one or two good fights. Y'all can just do what you want to do now. I'm through with that dude, man. I'm through with him. I'm through with him. And whatever happens, I don't want to hear nothing about, well, coach, what you think about them treating Shakur like that? I'm done. That young brother right there, my hands is off of him. I wish him the best. I don't wish him no harm, but he gonna have to learn some lessons on his own. My brother, the Dirt Game Boss, said, coach, tell him about the honey bun. You see, we talk about that honey bun being placed on the bed of a ignorant young fool who think he bad enough to handle all things, and the older head tells him, young brother, don't eat that honey bun. You don't know where it came from. Young brother says, shit, and I'm hungry. I'm starving. It's on my bed. I'm going to eat it. While incarceration, later on, a few dudes comes up to him and says, hey, man, we need payment for that honey bun. When somebody put that honey bun on your bed, you find out who put it there, and you beat life from their limbs. But can't nobody tell you young dudes nothing. You gonna eat the honey bun anyway. Can't nobody tell you nothing. We sit here trying to tell you young dudes, it's real foul people out here that want to see you done in the worst way. Man. They want to emasculate you. They want to demonize you first, so when they do what they do to you, people don't have any sympathy for you. Stop this gangster disposition you all are trying to have. Y'all been in the gym your whole lives. Then they do the fake all access videos of you all, and you got your braids, you got your gangster music playing, and you talking the talk, but our original gangsters protected the community. Our original gangsters were leaders before they were infiltrated and drugs were pushed. Y'all ain't gangster. Y'all ain't gangster. Gangsters wouldn't be seen praising Ryan Garcia after he's done what he's done. Gangsters wouldn't be seen bowing down and bending the knee of these racists who spit in your faces, and then you and Hitchens go on over there to their gym and give them pointers. Ain't nothing gangster about y'all. Stop it. Be leaders. Just be men. Be stand-up men, damn it. Having a hard time doing that. You're having a hard time doing that. Y'all don't, man, listen. You see, let me tell y'all something about it. When I was a kid, when I lived in Chicago, when I was a kid, the gangsters scared us. The gangsters would tell us, if you don't get your little ass in school, we gonna beat your ass, then take you to your mom's house, because the gangsters knew who moms and our pops was. There was a code. Gangsters got into it with gangsters. Civilians stayed in the civilians' place. But a brother gets on the panel and just asks you all to do what everybody has done that come before you, and that's be the best you can be. Here you go, Shakur. Man, pull up the J Press gym. Pull up the J Press gym. Shakur, you don't have that energy for nobody else. The dude who said, "Hey, I'm Ryan's cousin. Ryan gonna wash you." Dude, you over there massaging his back. Nah, bro, this how you do it. This man, listen. You see, you all want to have this gangster disposition, not realizing that, you see, gangsters have a code. And when you disrespect that code, you get disciplined. So you all want to have the swag, right? You want to pop your shit like the gangster, right? But you don't want nobody disciplining you. You don't want no old head telling you nothing. Go sit down and talk to one of these gangsters that's been locked up in the feds or the state pen and ask them what happens. How is a person disciplined after they break a code? And then when men who have been successful, men who didn't have to go through the system, they were blessed to, through hard work and proper guidance, to not fall into that. They try to tell you something, you don't want to hear nothing they got to say. See, Zab Judah tries to sit down and talk to you. Huh? The brothers who have come before you try to sit down and talk to you. The old trainers like Virgil Hunter try to sit down and give you some guidance. You don't want to hear it. Can't nobody tell you nothing. So I know my brother's about to go live. And I know I need to work out. But God is my witness. I'm done. I'm done with Shakur. And all of these brothers that choose to, while all that's going on in this country, you still choose to be a puppet for this white tee supremacist machine. You still want to be a stepping stool for racist Hispanics and self-hating Negroes. Hey man, I can't be a part of it. My hands are done with it. And I want to give honor to these men like Joe Louis, like Sugar Ray Robinson, like Henry Armstrong, like the old mongoose Archie Moore, who paved the way, like Muhammad Ali, who paved the way. Family, I'll see you all over there on Rumble with our brother Drew. Peace to the family. Peace to my comrades. And as always, smoke to the COINTELPRO boxing fan. Peace.